Good afternoon to my viewers. Good afternoon to everyone who has tuned into this broadcast. I hope that you are hearing me loud and clear. I first want to apologize for the last 2 weeks. We were not able to join you live because of some technical difficulties. And we made all the efforts to make sure that we are here this afternoon, December the 13th. Today will be our final broadcast for this term, the Christmas term, and indeed the year. So I hope that you will tell your friends, you'll tell your classmates that your principal is on. I am happy that you schedule this event in your calendar and you take it your point of duty to join me Sundays whenever you're available. So again, let me sincerely thank you for the support that you have given your principal in this Principal's Hour that we launch sometime in September, late September. And we are at our final broadcast for the term. And we could not do it without your support. So I want to thank my students, my parents, my staff members, teaching and non-teaching staff, students, and just about everyone who take the time out to tune in to this broadcast. It is a broadcast that we have contextualized, and we have put it together just to inform our stakeholders about the operations at Kelly's High School. So welcome again. I'm very much happy to have you on, and we look forward to a very fruitful and exciting 1 hour as we close off in style. Remember that you can always send me your questions, send me your comments, your recommendations, so that as we move into the new year, we will make this broadcast even more informative, even more exciting. And at the end, Kelly's High School will be rebranded in all of this. This is my ultimate aim, which is to rebrand Kelly's High School. We have been making strides, but as I said in several of my broadcasts, we have not been telling our stories, and your acting principal is using the opportunity to highlight and to expose what is happening at Kelly's High School. So today, I want to look at some areas. First, I want to start with the Literacy Week activities that came and went. We had 1 week of activities last week, and I want to share with you some of the successes. Then I want to look at our tri-weekly test, which will start officially tomorrow. So from the 14th to the 18th will be our tri-weekly test. Then we want to focus on end of term. End of term will be December the 18th. That's the final day for the school term 2020. Also want to engage you in some discussion with the PTA executive elections and to get your input in all of this. And finally, I want to close with the possible face-to-face reopening. Several of my parents, several of my students would have reached out to me, sir, will school reopen face-to-face come January? I want to shed some light on that based on the information that I have. So overall, we want to have a very informative session. Remember that you can always send me your messages. Mr. Chambers, my technical assistant, is in studio as well, and he will navigate that aspect and tell me as soon as a message would have come in. So welcome again as you join us live on Facebook and YouTube, and we look forward to having you throughout the entire 1 hour. God has been good to us. We have 17 days, roughly 18 days to go. 18 days to go for the year. It has been a very rocky year. It has been a year of uncertainty, a year of the coronavirus pandemic, a year of election, a year of downturn in the economy, and several things would have happened this year. But in all, we want to give God thanks for His grace and His mercy towards us here at Kellett High School. So let me start with Literacy Week activities. We would have promoted this activity earlier in the term, and this activity started last Monday, where we had our drive-through, where the teachers, led by Vice Principal Miss Henry, she would have been the main architect behind Literacy Week, and I want to commend her publicly, she and her team, especially grades 7 to 9, and more specifically, the literacy, the English department, they would have organized this Literacy Week awareness. And Monday, they drove through the communities, especially in Seven Ground, Crosshill. Then they went to Comsey, Burn, Jericho, and other parts, exposing and sensitizing parents and students about Literacy Week. On Tuesday, we had our literacy forum, and this was held via the same broadcast that you are tuning in today. It went live on Facebook and YouTube. And we had a number of presenters, including Dr. Chin. She had some technical difficulties in joining on, but she was slated to address the forum. We also had our apps coaches in Mrs. Gray Turner and Miss Cruikshank, and they did a wonderful job in sharing literacy ideas, how we can improve literacy among our children. And this is a topical issue that we are struggling with as a nation. There are a number of students who are unable to read, and therefore we want to do as much as we can do to make sure that when they complete high school, they are able to be literate. That is our main goal at Kellett High School. And then Wednesday and Thursday, my teachers went out into the community in their numbers, and they went to Crosshill Cultural Center, and they had a wonderful time in reaching out to our students who were very happy and who were very excited in meeting our teachers. They did not get a chance to see their teachers since September, and they were very much happy to have them out. So we had a number of students coming out at the Crosshill Cultural Center, and our teachers were there. We would have observed the COVID protocol, and it was very, very positive, and in the end, it was a success. Then we moved to Comsey, and we had a number of students coming out as well. It was not as, the crowd was not as huge or large as the one at Crosshill, but nevertheless, students came out and they met their teachers, and they got their tutoring at the Comsey Basic School. And that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, we repeat that outing, and we went back to Crosshill on Thursday, and then we went back to Comsey. And overall, it was a big success, Literacy Week activity. And I want, again, to thank Miss Henry. I can't say it enough. I want to publicly thank her for this initiative, as she would have organized with her team. And I want to let my viewers know that this will be a continuous part of our program. So we're going to make it an annual event where we have our Literacy Week activities. Even though we focus on literacy, every day, but we want to take a week to highlight the struggles that we're having and also to come up with best practices and ideas as it relates to improving the literacy among our students. So again, Literacy Week was a success, and I want to thank all the different players. I want to thank our sponsors as well for making this a success. We want to thank a number of sponsors. I don't have all the names here now, but I don't want to call any names and get myself into trouble. But a number of sponsors would have come on board and they would have given us care packages. Later on, I'll get the names and I want to publicly recognize them. So I won't do that right now until I get the names. Then I thank my sponsors, but I have the names somewhere. So we had some giveaways as well, and the students really appreciate that. So big up again to the literacy team coordinators and the team for getting this done. All right, so that is Literacy Week activity that came and went. Now, tri-weekly test. This is our second assessment for the term. We know that a number of students are unable to get online, and this is very unfortunate. We have tried our best. Nevertheless, I must say that there are still a number of students who are not able to access teaching online. Some students who are able to, and it is just fair that we provide an assessment for them to see, to determine what they would have learned since the term began on October the 5th. So they would have done one tri-weekly test already in November, and this will be the second tri-weekly test. What we have done as a school, parents, we have pushed back the end of term examination. So that major examination that they would have done in December, end of term, they would have pushed it back to February of next year. So hopefully we will have, hopefully, again, I use that word guardedly, that we hope that we will have face-to-face classes come January. And then some of the students who are not able to get us online will at least get a month teaching, and we hope that they will be able to write their end of term exam, which will be in February. So I encourage those who are able to get online to study and to show yourself approved, so that at least at the end of the day you can have a good test score. Don't take these tests lightly, even though it's online. So study the notes that your teachers would have given you so that you can write that test, or you can answer those multiple choice or short answer questions when you get them started tomorrow. So please bear that in mind. The tri-weekly test will be from the 14th, which is tomorrow, to Friday the 18th, which is the last day of school. So end of term is upon us. We have 5 days to go. When we started, I said from the beginning that it would be a very bumpy and rocky ride, and indeed it has been. However, we try as a school to make this ride a little, comfortable and not so strenuous and stressful to our students and our parents. I know that some students have not gotten on, but we have tried our best. And this is not unique to Kelly's High School. When I share with my principals all over the island, it is the same challenge that all the principals have shared, that a lot of students have not gotten on. But we have almost come to the end of the term, and we hope that students would have achieved some level of success throughout the term, and we look forward to even a brighter and more productive Easter term, which will start on January the 4th. So January 4th will be the beginning of the next term. So that is it for end of term. The PTA executive elections Now, currently we have the PTA president in Miss Bryce, and she's doing an excellent job. You know, she took on the reins of PTA president when the void was created. Because one of the things that we would have realized at Kellett High is that we are not getting enough parents to take up the presidency of the PTA. And I want to appeal to my parents who are listening that we are now campaigning, we are now asking parents to indicate to me those persons who they believe can serve as the president, the secretary, the treasurer, and the PRO. So we're looking for a president. Would love to get a vice president as well, if that is possible, but at least a president. Would love to get a secretary and a deputy secretary, if that is possible. Would love to get a treasurer and a deputy treasurer, and 2 PROs, those persons who will promote the activities of the PTA. I would love for us to have a strong and vibrant Parent Teachers Association. You know, the teachers are there willing to work. Now we want the parents and we want to create that synergy. We want to create that relationship that the PTA can be strong. The PTA is a powerful arm of the Kellett High School and any schools at all. So I want the PTA to be very strong, and we're going to start the campaigning and the nomination of members starting tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm asking parents, I'm going to put it in the WhatsApp group, different groups, but I'm saying it here on my program that I want parents to nominate and to send me persons who they believe can lead the PT Association and take it to another level as we seek to raise the bar, all the different organs of Kellett High School. So the teachers, the ancillary staff, the janitors, the cooks, the cleaners, the admin staff, all the different organs that make up Kellett High School. We want all of them to improve as we go along, and the PTA is one such body. So Miss Bryce will be demitting office. She will not seek re-election because we want a parent from outside. I would love for a parent who is not a teacher to be the PTA president, somebody who will give more time. Not that Miss Bryce not given the time, but she has to be sharing her time as a teacher, where I want her to focus her attention on, as well as to plan activities for the PTA. So I want somebody now to take up this reign and to run with the baton and raise the bar and improve our PTA association at Kellett High School. So starting tomorrow, I want you to send me my numbers. The number will be going across the screen again. So you can send me those nominations via that number. For parents who are part of the WhatsApp groups, you can also send me your nominees, and then we will have our election virtually. We will create those ballots virtually, and we'll ask parents to vote so we can have a legal and properly constituted association that will lead this school into the next school year. And so we look forward to having that election shortly. All right, hope you're hearing me loud and clear. So you could probably give me a feedback if you're hearing me loud and clear, if you're joining me. You could just say hi or principal, I'm hearing you, so that I'm whatever I'm saying, you're hearing loud and clear. All right, good. So you can send me a feedback right away. So that is the PTA executive elections that will be coming up starting this week, and we hope to run it into early January so we can select a executive body that will lead the PTA going forward. All right. So before I take comments from you, the Ministry of Education would have been having a series of consultations virtually where questions would have been asked of different stakeholders, whether the feasibility, whether school is, it is possible for school to reopen face to face come January the 4th. Now, as a school, we have not gotten any information that Kelly High School will be reopened. Let me state that we have not gotten any information as yet. But the Minister of Education would have said that they would have informed the schools ahead of time if those schools will be open. All right, Ms. Christian. Yes, you're loud and clear. Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So my viewers are hearing me loud and clear. So that is good. Thank you for your feedback. So we are making all the plans at Kelly's High School. We have had our first planning session last week where a group of persons would have assembled and we would have met. We would have looked at the different areas like the plant, would have looked at the furniture arrangement, would have looked at the sanitization arrangement, would have looked at the water arrangement, and so on. And when we discuss and we arrive at the findings, it was unanimously decided that Kelly's High School is in a position to reopen based on all the different areas that the Ministry of Health would have outlined for us to focus on. So we are approximately 80% ready. And when I say 80% ready, it's just few other little things which we are currently doing. We're putting in some more hand wash stations. We're putting in some hand sanitization machines. We're now putting in more tanks so we can store more water. We have our isolation area. We're getting another bed there. So overall, we are putting in everything to make sure that if ministry give us the green light, we are ready to take it with both hands and both feet and everything, because our students are at a major disadvantage, especially my C-Sec and CAPE students. Some of them would have not started their school-based assessments and their internal assessments, and they have been calling out for me to give them a chance to come in, but I did not, because I don't want the Ministry of Education to say that we went against their policy. We didn't want the Ministry of Health to come and close us down, but we have everything in place for face-to-face reopening on a phase basis. Let me say on a phase basis, because even if we get the go-ahead, we will not be taking in the 800 students. Our population is approximately 800 students. We will not be able to house everybody all at once, but we have arranged a system where we will take in students on a face-to-face basis to make sure that all students get an opportunity in this face-to-face arrangement. We will still continue the online modality. We will not throw away the online modality, because since we have started, there are many teachers who are loving the online platform. There are many students who are loving it. So we will keep it. However, we want to make sure that those students who are not able to access teaching at all will get a chance to come in face to face. We also had our board meeting last week, Thursday, and it was unanimously decided that the school is in a position to go ahead to have face-to-face reopening. So with all the signs, I want to say to my parents and students and all my stakeholders that Kelly's High School is ready. We're ready to accept our students, and whatever challenges that may come up, we will work out those little teething pains and those little nitty-gritty so that we can have school in its entirety as it relates to face-to-face on a face-to-face basis. So overall, we are hoping that our school will be assessed by the Ministry of Health. No schools in QEC 48, that's Northern Clarendon, would have gotten the green light to open school, I think 2 weeks ago. Some high schools were given the opportunity, like Claude McKay, Clarendon College, and Edwin Alley. Those are the schools near to us that were given the green light to open. But there are no schools in Northern Clarendon. I'm not sure what was the rationale for this decision. However, I want to say I would have said it to my regional director, I would have said it to my educational officer and my colleagues that it is high time that we get our students back into some form of productive learning, because we are going to have a major gap in the system if this is not done. There are many students who even get the tablets and they are not able to manipulate it. Some of them don't have any internet connection. So having the tablet is one thing, but having the data and the internet to use it is another thing. So we are crying out. I hear your pain, parents. I know you want school to reopen. We're putting everything in place. I hope that when I call on you to give a little contribution, yes, you will help us so we can get all the things in place, because it takes a lot to run a COVID school, a whole lot of sanitization material. We have to get our personal protective equipment so that if a child is showing any COVID signs, we can have persons who would escort them to the isolation area. We have to have a number of things in place to make sure. So I may call upon my parents to assist us, and my past students, as usual, who are giving, and those who have not given, I'm going to call upon you to help us so that we can get back the students into the physical space so that they can optimize their learning potential. That is the whole aim. We don't want their learning progress to delay by any stretch of the imagination. So we want to do as much as we can to assist them. So basically that's it for the possible face-to-face reopening. We have put everything in place basically. And as I said, 80%, but by end of this term, we will have everything in place, because as we speak, there's some work going on at school. So overall, parents, I must say it was a successful term. We have done a lot. I want to tell you that I don't remember working so hard consistently, to manage everything, to manage students, to manage the teaching staff, manage the non-teaching staff, and all of this is done virtually. It has not been easy. However, it has been very exciting and rewarding for me to know that once you put in the work, then you will definitely benefit from such. So we continue to work at Kelly's High School. We continue to do what we can, and we ask our students to do the rest, our parents to do the rest, and to make sure that we work as one big family to achieve our goals. So, parents, viewers, as we move forward, you can always send me your questions as we move into the next half an hour. We have completed 30 minutes, so you can send me your questions while I share some other information with you. All right. So if you have any question as it relates to Literacy Week activities, which I would have shed some light on, any questions as it relates to tri-weekly test, any question on end of term, which is coming up. We're trying to have a choral service. I have assembled a committee in place, and we hope to have a date for our choral service. I will not give you that date as yet, but I'll share it in the WhatsApp groups. We want to have a choral service between Monday to Friday, one of those days. We'll go virtually. We will have it via Google Meet. Yes, so we'll keep it internally. We will not go, we will not broadcast it via Facebook and YouTube, but we'll keep it among the parents and students and the teaching and non-teaching staff. All right, my viewers, unfortunately, you will not see Mr. Harris singing, you know, Feliz Navidad, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and all that, because we'll keep it within the family, so to speak. All right, so that is coming up as well. And if you have any question with the PTA executive elections, you can also send me a question there, or possible face-to-face reopening if you have any questions. So send me your questions so that your principal will be able to answer such accordingly. All right, so this is a wonderful experience for us. This is a time that we move into the festive season, and I want to encourage my students not to indulge in the activities too much. There are many times when I see my students on the road. Some of them are drinking adult beverages, you know, drinking alcohol, and they're consuming a lot of alcohol. There are some of them who they may attend parties, and these parties are videoed and they are posted on social media. Now, let me just remind you that you can be sanctioned, you can be punished if these videos go viral, and we can identify our students in the different parties, drinking, and so on. So I encourage my students to remain students during this festive season and not to indulge in too much drinking, if any at all. If you come on the road, which we are asking you to minimize, because if there's a spike in the coronavirus, then the Ministry of Education may not want to give schools the green light. So it is incumbent on us to stay home as much as possible. And if we are going out, to wear our mask and to keep our 6 feet physical distance, so that we can reduce the likelihood of contracting the coronavirus. So students, you have a part to play. When I go in Kelly's on Saturdays, I see my students without their mask, right? And they are living carelessly. Yes, you're putting your life at risk. And then now we will have to take you back at school, and then you're going to put my staff at risk. So I'm asking you, I'm beseeching you that during this Christmas Yuletide season, that you stay as much as possible at home. If you have to go on the road, please do so very carefully and to protect yourself so that you can protect others as well. Parents, you have a part to play. The students are still under your care, so you have to put in your rules at home. You have to make sure that you have curfew time. You have to make sure that you know where your child, where your children is at any given time, because you have ultimate responsibility for them, and we want you to help them to stay negative, COVID negative, so that if we're able to open school, then they won't put others at risk. So I wish for you all the best during this season, and let us be careful. There are many things that are happening in our communities as it relates to crime and violence. So please take all the necessary precautions. It is better to be over, protective than to say that, if me did know, because that usually comes after the fact. So take all the necessary precautions during this season. All right. Seems like no questions. Seems like persons are okay with what is happening. There is no gray area, no concerns. So you can send us whatever comments, whether it's a question or probably you want to big up your school, probably you want to comment your teachers for a good term. I mean, maybe parents there want to give a shout out to their principal or give a shout out to their teachers. You would have your teachers as well. You have an opportunity to do now as we have our last principals hour for the term. I give you the opportunity to give your shout out. Maybe you want to send some Christmas wishes to your teachers and also to students. So I'll give you the opportunity, whether you're teachers, if you want to give a shout out to your students, you can do that. Probably want to give a shout out to your parents, or if the parents or students want to give a shout out to their teachers, you can do that now. I don't want to be talking throughout the 1 hour and not to give you an opportunity to have your say as well. So as we wait on those comments, yes, Curly Hines, great job, Mr. Harris. All right, thank you, Curly, and I hope your son, Mr. Andrews, Tejanil, I think it's Tejanil, I hope I get it right, Tejanil Andrews. That young man has a lot of potential, one of our bright sparks in grade 8, and he came to us from Kelly's Primary and is doing well. And I want to big your mommy, continue to socialize, continue to impart the necessary values and attitudes so that this young man will continue to do well. All right, thank you. So, Tajanil, all right, yes, Tajanil. All right, thanks for that spelling. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Miss Science, past student as well. And I remembered when her son was about to choose schools for the after sitting PEP, you know that you have to sign up for a number of schools. And she said to me that, Mr. Harris, Kelly's High School will be my #1 choice for my son. And indeed, he got Kelly's High School, and the mother has not regret such decision because, as I said constantly, I might sound like a broken record now. We have some of the best teachers right at Kelly's High School. Without any fear of contradiction, I can say that we have some of the best teachers at Kelly's High School. What I see my teachers do in terms of going above and beyond. There are a lot of teachers at some of these prominent high schools who will not do so much for your children. And I know that my teachers have been doing well, and parents choosing Kelly's High School, you will not, yes, you will not regret making such a choice because just last week I was talking to one of my principal colleagues, and she was saying that her son is at a prominent high school and he's doing the sciences. And she was very concerned because of the lack of effort that is really being put in by these teachers at this prominent high school. And she was saying to me that, I'm wondering if there are teachers at my school that could assist. And I recommended my science teachers to her. And I hope that she will take up that offer because those are the same science teachers who would have helped my daughter to pass all her science subjects. And therefore, I want to say to your parents, I can't say it enough, that we have quality teachers at Kelly's High School. And if you give us a chance with your children, we know that they will definitely do well. All right. So I had to put in that plug there. You know that I have to put in that plug there as your principal. So you can always send me comments as we move into the program. We have about 90 minutes left, so you can take your questions if you care to share them. All right. So touch a little on our farm, our school farm. We have All right, let me hold that until Mary Silent. Good evening, Mr. Harris. You're doing a good job. Keep it up, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. I look forward to all those affirmation. It just gives me more impetus and more drive to continue to do more good work at Kelly High School as I seek to improve with my team, my alma mater, as we rebrand and make Kelly High School a well sought after school. Thank you, Mary. All right, so we started. We are doing some work on the school farm, and so far we have been putting in a lot of work there. Salim, congratulations, Principal Harris and the hardworking staff at Kelly High School. All right, thank you, Salim. I hope I pronounced it right. Alafia, all right, Salim Alafia, all right, hope I get that right. Thank you very much for your validation and your support as we seek to tell our stories and improve Kelly High School. So we are doing some work on the school farm over the past month. We have had two farm assistants who came in and assist us, and they are currently on the school farm. We are now putting in sweet potato, we're putting in tomato and sweet pepper, and the farm is looking really lovely under the guidance of Ms. McKay and Mr. Folks. And we hope that by February we will have tomato and sweet pepper to sell to staff members and the community. And we are seeking to raise the bar and to improve our farm as well as we rebrand. Past teacher, Miss Morrison, rebranding indeed. Good going, Sir Jermaine Harris. All right, Miss Morrison, one of our proud past teacher. I hope one day you will pass through and make link with us. All right, thank you indeed, madam. She would have been with us some years ago, and I want to thank her for her commendation. Good. It's all about rebranding, as I keep saying, because in the end, we can't be static. We have to seek to, evolve and to move in the right direction. Altia Sharp, well done, Mr. Harris. I'm proud of you. All right, thank you. Yeah, you guys allowing my head to swell, but no problem. The more the head swell, the more ideas will come, and by extension, the more Kelly High School. Because it's not about me. I keep saying it's not about me. I am in the driver's seat now. It's about Kelly High School. Kelly High School will be there even when I'm gone, and we have to do something. We have gone 50 years, and I think it's time now for us to rebrand, even ourselves. Psychologists and motivational speakers, pastors would say to us that we need to rebrand. We need to put a different title on ourselves. Some of us are in a situation where we're not being successful for one reason or the other, and we have to seek to do something new. Because if you continue to do the same thing over and over, getting the same result, then there is one writer that says that you are insane. And we are not insane at Kelly High School, but we believe that we have made great strides. Yes. So let me put it in context. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Yes, we have made great strides over the years. School started in 1970 under teacher principal Edward Dinnell. Yes, and he would have made strides in his I think he spent 14 years. We're still trying to check the correct number of years, but the last time I checked, I think it's about 14 years thereabout. He would have done about from 1970 to about 84. He would have done his part. Then the baton was passed on to acting principal, Mr. Clinton Douglas. Just giving a little history and for people to understand the context in which your current principal is seeking to rebrand Not that we're saying nothing was done prior to now. Yes, things were done. So we had Principal Dingle from 1970 to about 84 thereabout. Then we have acting principal Mr. Clinton Douglas. Yes, not many people know. Not many people knew that Mr. Douglas, yes, Justice of the Peace Clinton Douglas, who now resides in Kellits. He was acting principal for about 2 years. I think it's about 84 to 86 thereabout. I think he did 2 years acting. Um, yes, and then after Mr. Douglas, then we had Mrs. Winifred MacDonald. You know, she just passed, and we want to publicly offer our sympathies as a school to the late Winifred MacDonald. All right, she passed just last month, I believe, and she would have served us for about 1 year. I think she served us from about 84 to 85 thereabout. Please don't quote me. I'm just giving us some figures off the top of my head. But another thing that I'm doing currently as your acting principal is putting the archives together. I'm trying to capture the history of Kelly's High School and to document it so that we can share it with the current student cohort and to expose and to to share with stakeholders the history of Kelly's High School. All right, so after Mrs. Winifred MacDonald, I think she did about 1 year and then she left to start Claude McKay High. So she was the first principal of Claude McKay High. So she did a short stint at Kelly's. And then after the late Winifred MacDonald, then Miss Grace Taylor. Yes, Miss Grace Taylor took over, and she took over from about, I think it's about 87, I believe. I think it's about 1987 up to about 2001. Because when I was there 95, I went there 90, she was my principal. When I left there 95, she was my principal as well. And when I started working 1999 there, she was my principal. So about 87 to about 2001, Miss Grace Taylor would have took over. And yes, she would have also done, apart from Principal Dingle, she would be the next, the second longest serving principal at the school. Yes, Miss Grace Taylor, right? And then after 2001, so if we go a little back, the school was Kelly's Junior Secondary under Teacher Dingle, that's Principal Dingle. Then under Miss Douglas and Miss Taylor, it was secondary school, Kelly Secondary. And then when Miss Kathleen Edwards, she took over from 2001 to 2012, I believe, yes, 2001 to 2012. Mrs. Edwards would have taken over and she would have done her part as well. All right, and then the school was Kelly's Comprehensive at one point, yes, and then finally it's Kelly's High School. So yesterday rebranding has been going on, so it is nothing new. It's just that yours truly is seeking to rebrand because we have to keep improving, and each day of our life we have to seek to do new things so that we can get new results. All right. So after Mrs. Kathleen Edwards. All right, Veronica Porteous, listening to you from Connecticut, wishing you, the staff and students, a Merry Christmas and continue to do the great work you're doing. So proud of you all. Thank you, my past colleague, my past client, my good friend. Thank you. Thank you. We want to wish you the same, you and family over there in Connecticut. Thank you, Ms. Porteous. Always tuning into this wonderful broadcast. All right, so just giving you a little history in terms of the rebranding, and then from 2001 to August this year, sorry, from 2000 and no, not 2013. My apology. getting ahead of myself. The 2013 to August this year, which is 7 years, we would have had Mr. Christie, Mr. Texel Christie. So he would have done his part as well in rebranding the school. We would come there and see the change. He would be accredited for the change in terms of the aesthetic and the plant. He would have done a major overhauling in terms of beautification and how the plant looks, and it is in a immaculate. Remember, Mrs. All right, will do. All right, so immaculate condition. Was just reading a text there. So we want to thank Mr. Christie for doing such a lovely job. So each of the principal, my viewers, would have played their part in rebranding the school. Maybe we have not tell our stories enough, and yours truly, that is what I'm here to do, to tell you the story so that you know what is happening at Kelly High School. Yes, I have gone, what, 4 months so far? Yeah, I see like it has been 4 years, but 4 months, and the best is yet to come, all right? Also, I want to pay our tribute to a number of, because I'm still trying to take your comments and your questions as I seek to provide information to you as well. I also want to pay tribute to some persons who would have passed on. Altia, as a past student, a parent, I feel so good. Forward Forever United. Thank you, Altia. Forward Forever United. We will definitely do that as a school because we want to be comparable with the best. All right. So we pay tribute. We paid tribute earlier to Mrs. Winifred McDonald. We also want to pay tribute to a past teacher in Mrs. Sims. When she was there, she was Mrs. Smith. Before we get to Mrs. Sims, also want to, I think I left out, yes, I left out somebody who acted as principal, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Marcia Smith. I hope she will forgive me because I really want to, all of this to be documented and post on the Kelly's Facebook page. So Mrs. Marcia Smith, she acted at one point between, I think it was between Mrs. Taylor. I think after Mrs. Edwards, I think Mrs. Edwards went on leave, I believe, and then Mrs. Smith, I think she acted at one point, and she also will be from 2012 to 2013. Yes, 2012, because Mrs. Edwards went on pre-retirement leave. So just between that gap, when Mrs. Edwards went on retirement leave and Mr. Christie came to January of 2013, Mrs. Marcia Smith would have acted as principal. All right, so each person, each leader would have had their own style. They would have seen things through different framework. They would have had different philosophy of leadership, and there are so many of them. And each person, we will be documenting their tenure and what they would have achieved so that we can share it with all stakeholders. Proud product of the Kelly High School. All right, Carlin, great. Indeed, you should be. All right, and continue to be a proud product as you make your mark in society. All right, so before I go, I really don't want to miss this part. Morrison, Teacher Morrison, congratulations, sir. I have no doubt you will make an indelible mark. I really love what I am seeing, and I certainly look forward to passing by one of these days. All right, so the doors are always open at Kelly's High School to your past teacher, Morrison. Here's another past teacher, Mr. Bailey Dapper. All right, GB, when you talk about Dapper, I know you put Step as Dapper, but this is another Dapper man. That's my principal, Mrs. Smith. All right, Mr. Bailey. Big up, sir. Happy to have you joining us. He was one of our past teachers as well who served us well, and they are really proud teachers of Kelly High School. Good. All right. So As I was saying, paying tributes to some persons who would have departed from this earth last month. I would have mentioned our past principal, Mrs. Winifred McDonald. Also, we had a past teacher in Mrs. Sims. Yes, Mrs. Sims. She served us in the capacity of cosmetology teacher. She was an excellent cosmetology teacher. She was such a people person and a spiritual human being. When it comes on to spirituality, I don't think you have any comparable to her. Always giving some um, spiritual advice to me and others once you come into her presence. So she would have departed this earth sometime last month, I believe, tragically, quite suddenly. She was a teacher at Marcus Garvey High School at the time of her passing, and Kelly's High School wanted to offer its sympathy to Mr. Sims, who was also a past teacher, and the family, her daughter, during this difficult period. So, um, as you go through this time, we hope that you will draw strength from your Maker and Lord. Also, we unfortunately lost one of our students, Ryan. Big up Kelly I'm so proud of the great strides being made by this institution. Progress long overdue. All right, Ryan, words. All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, we continue to put in the work, and we believe that hard work will definitely pay off. All right, so we have about 2 minutes or so on this broadcast. So one of our former teacher, Mr. Edgar Powell, his wife would have also died last month. And we want to extend our sympathies as well to him and family. Mr. Powell, he was excellent math teacher at school, and he would have served us so many years. He would have retired some years ago, and he would have lost his wife as well. Also, we lost one of our students, Talia Brown. All right, Talia Brown. She should have been in grade 11. She also died quite tragically, and we reach out to the family already, but I want to say it on my broadcast that we offer our deepest sympathies to the family of Talia Brown as well. So November was not a good month for the school, where we say farewell to a number of our friends and past colleagues and students, and may their memories continue to live on forever. So, as we approach the end of another broadcast, I don't know if there are other comments there, Mr. Chambers, but we want to thank, personally, I want to thank all my teaching staff, 65 of them, for the support that you would have given your principal since he took over in this acting position. I want to thank my senior staff. I want to thank my general staff. I want to thank my two vice principals. I want to thank my two guidance counselors, my work experience teacher. I want to thank my dean of discipline, my dean of academics. I want to thank my non-teaching staff led by my bursar and her team. I want to thank the parents. I want to thank all my students. I want to thank all the donors, all the persons who have contributed to um, the, the tablet drive, the textbook drive, the care package drive. I want to thank all my donors. I will not list the names here because I don't want to leave out any of those persons who have contributed. And we look forward to your continued support, because we will not be able to do it without on YouTube. I want to thank Mr. Chambers. Something happened in his life yesterday. I will not say it here unless he gives me the privilege and the permission. Sir, can I say it here? If he doesn't give me. I want to thank him. He's my technical assistant. He's the one who would have gotten this up. He's the one right now who is managing behind the scene, and he has done a fantastic and a wonderful job. All right, for me, and he has been a tower of strength. And I want to publicly thank you, Sir Chambers. So as we conclude this, our final principles hour for the term and for the year, I want to wish for you a productive and happy Christmas season. I hope that you will keep safe. You will not indulge too much in the festivities, but you will remember that the reason for this season is really Jesus Christ. May you and your family have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes. And we look forward to joining you in 2021, the first Sunday in 2021. I hope by then I will have some good news to share with you as it relates to the face-to-face reopening of school. May God continue to bless us as a school and may continue to bless us as a nation. Look forward to seeing you in 2021. So long as we say goodbye. From this Principles Hour and from this term and from this year. Crystal Robinson Grant, same to you, sir, and your family. So with that being said, have a wonderful, I have to, all right, it's coming in now, Delisa. I think I have a gift for you, Delisa. I'll have to find a Christmas gift for you. Because every week, before I close, Mr. Chambers, and you do the countdown, I want to publicly thank Delisa. She, walked with Mr. Harris and Merry Christmas. You know that last week, Sunday, she texted me, asking me, what is happening to Principals Hour? Aren't we going to have any more for this year? And I had to apologize to her profusely because we were having some technical difficulties and she did understand. But she always tuning in and she's a proud parent and guardian of KHS School. And I think she would be my top viewer based on response to my program. Thank you, Delisa. We look forward to doing it all over again in 2021. Take care, Charlotte McKenzie. Past student, thanks and same to you, sir. All right, take care. I will look forward to seeing you in 2021. Be safe and keep safe. Evelyn Don Gale, same to you, sir. All right, blessings. All right, so Mary Siley, you too, sir. All right, good. So, Mr. Chambers, when you're ready, you can always wrap it up and take care, my viewers. Rikisha, big up, Mr. Harris. Deshaun Armstrong, bless up. All right, Deshaun. All right, good. Adela, thank you, sir. All right, good. Thank you all, and take care. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. Jackie, thanks and same to you, sir. All right, big up yourself. All right. I think the others they can always post it. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, and Mr. Chambers, post my number before you go. You can always send your comments even after the broadcast. We will definitely read them and we appreciate them all. Thanks again. All right. So that's it as we tune out. Take care. Blessings.